All right, we're going to get started with the lesson today. We can't be hanging around. Hey, Julian. Armenia cheated. Yeah, that was the right way to handle it, I think. Oh, you think they shouldn't have done that? Well, if the others were obviously, like, if it was provable, then they shouldn't let them get away with it. I thought maybe it was more ambiguous, but I didn't really. I only knew about it because Ben mentioned it. But I agree with you. If it was pretty egregious and obvious, I don't know why they would let some get away with it. But maybe they were more, and wasn't real clear. So in 4 months, Gerard says you're on the heels of 1,200. You really want to break through and set a goal. I do think it's good to have goals. And I think it's normal to plateau, and then all of a sudden you'll jump forward again.
That's true.
They always say they are willing to prove it in court.
Interesting.
All right, you got it set up? Or are you still adding to it?
Yes.
All right, here we go, folks.
White to play and win.
And then just as a reminder to the noobs, if there are any noobs, we've been going through the Silman Endgame Coursebook, or whatever the name of it is, complete Endgame course. And we're getting close to the end. We're in section 9, but it's pretty dense, so it's taken a few streams for the same section.
All right, this part of this section is all about tactics.
All right, so you said white to play and win?
Yes.
Okay. It's all a little suspicious. All right, let me take a peek here. Let's see.
Pretty tough so far.
Yeah. I won't look at the chat in case, since we got smarty Julian there, you'll probably get it. Can't have Julian ruining the puzzle for me.
Kind of even tough to find a candidate move. I mean, there's some checks, but I'm not really sure. Not really sure. When you say white to play and win, does that mean there is a mate in one, or just a winning combination of moves? It's a good question. When it's white to play and win, it just means we'll achieve a position that anybody would think is winning. So, like, in this current position, you can't prove to me that white's winning unless you keep going into the position, because black's about to queen. If we took the h-pawn off the board, and it wouldn't even be white to play and win, everybody would think white's winning because white's up a bishop and 3 pawns then. So basically, you just need to achieve a position that's completely winning. It could be mate, it could be just an obvious win. Either way. How's it going, Warnocky? This one's too tough for me. It's pretty tough, in my opinion. How's it going, Chad Dad? Chad Dad. I like the chances of mate on g7. I don't really like the chances of that. With the queen on g2 blocking that. But maybe, actually. Maybe.
Yeah, this is pretty hard.
Yeah, I think I did solve it, actually. I didn't think I was going to. I thought it was just going to be too hard to solve.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like
I
I
have some
might
ideas, but
have it.
I need to continue looking. I have one idea. Let's see.
But actually, I'm not sure anymore. Yeah, I don't know, actually. White has perpetual check, if not mistaken. That's true. Probably. But it is White's playing win. So that's probably not the right answer. I'm looking at G7, but if King G7, it becomes a fight. What? Queen E6 might be a good start.
That's what I was looking at. Queen E6. Seems good to me.
Well, I don't know. I thought you're not going to win after King G7. Well, how's it going, Scottish Demon Goat? And Squire. Nice.
Oh yeah, because the bishop can't check then.
Well, yeah, I hit pots, but I don't need to play Queen G7, or yeah, Queen G7 in that variation on move 2 for black. I could just play, actually, what would I do there?
I still like Queen E6.
Well, okay, hit pots. Queen E8, King G7 I would play, not King H7. Actually. King G7, then Queen E8. If you play a move that's not check, I'm going to queen my H-pawn, and you probably won't win unless it's forced mate after I queen. So if you play Queen E6 check, King G7, Queen E8, that's not check. I'll promote, and then you're going to not win. I don't believe you'll win. How's it going, Dancing Tortoise? Nobody suggested the move that I was considering, but I don't know if my move's right, because I couldn't win in one variation. Although I won in every other variation, so I feel like it's probably right, but I just can't find the win. King G7, then Queen E7. Alright, then King G8. Yeah, I'll play King G8. If King G7, then Bishop H6. Yeah. Still, I feel like you have to make a move that's not check in order to push like your F-pawn, and then I'll queen and you won't have Queen G7 mate. This actually is the idea I was looking at, but a little bit different. I was thinking about playing Bishop G5.
My idea is I can never get it to work.
So I want you to take with the pawn, and then eventually I push this pawn with check. I can also check here because of that. And the problem is if you go to H8, I couldn't win. So that might not be right. My other point was that after here, a reason I like this move is because if queen takes, we could play check, king up, check, and take the H-pawn, and then we'll win.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll take my pawn, but I'll have 3 pawns against 1. I probably will win that. But I couldn't beat Bishop G5 here, here, and then this. Because now if I push my pawn to threaten mate, you can check me. And I can't escape the checks, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I don't know, maybe I can try, but it doesn't seem like it's right. So then I sort of gave up. I'm like, I guess I can't win.
I don't know.
Julian was talking about a similar variation like this. The problem with this compared to what I was doing is that now you can't, like even if you play f6, you're not threatening mate because my queen is here. So I made your pawn go to g5, and then I am threatening mates. But this would be a great position because the queen covers these. So maybe we should do both the ideas. I need to get my queen to f7. Oh, okay. That's not what I meant. Here. Now I need to get queen f7 and f6, then it's a win. So let's go here again. How do I get my queen to f7? But now he could even try to run away.
Couldn't you first go queen g6, running back up? I don't know how you can get to f7 from there.
Right, I need to get here with check and
Yeah.
then play f6. But if I get here with not check, I don't have enough time because you're threatening to trade queens.
Couldn't, oh no, he could go to g7. Yeah.
Maybe here and then just like, still there's this one check, but maybe we can deal with one check. There we go. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Buenos no checks. Oh wait, there is one. What am I talking about? I didn't see that.
I didn't either. I was looking on the diagonal.
Right, yeah, me too. I was like, can't go here or here. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's not right. But oh well.
All right, what are people saying? Julian has ideas.
I meant it was queen e8, king g7, bishop h6 check. But king h7.
And two bishops of Adele's saying stuff.
So Julian's point is if you take, we'll check you, and then we'll win your queen. But then he's like, all you have to do is go here. Yes, now if we check with the queen and take, you can't check on the 8th rank anymore. You can go queen f8 check if I can block that, or move my king
But
back.
you need to show me what all you're saying. Sorry.
If here, you lose your queen.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you can't go to.
So we'll go
G6.
here, now you can't check. If you check on the 7th rank, then you can't go here check anymore. It's illegal. So you can't force me to lose my queen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree that there should be some bishop sacrifice to win. But I don't know about the move order, and I'm not making it work. Yeah.
Is that your mom? Stepmom?
Exclaim Spencer.
Close.
All right, let's look at the answer. Because we tried our best, and it's too hard.
Yeah, all right.
This is Simagin against Bronstein from Moscow 47. Black is about to make a second queen, so one might think that giving perpetual check is more or less forced. However, white has a lovely tactical trick that cements the victory. Bishop g5 double exclam. Hooray, I was right.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Now, in the game he just queened, which I didn't even consider that. Although I probably should have.
Yeah.
I thought I'd mate with my bishop helping. FG just plays f6. Oh yeah, of course. We keep the queen here to stop the checks. We don't have to check a bunch, and then... Yeah, that's crazy. I should have understood that. I wanted to play f6 and when it was forcing mate, and it is. Already, I didn't need the checks. Because I stopped. The queen is perfectly placed here. Yeah, that didn't make sense. I should have just figured that out. And then here we'll lose... Yeah, this is why I liked bishop g5, because I noticed this variation was winning. Because I pick up the pawn.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I figured that might be the answer, but I didn't understand f takes f6.
Wow, that one was really hard.
We're not even done yet.
I know,
Queen.
but I mean, even just all this work. This is interesting though, but it's too hard for me.
Both these moves... Oh. Both of these moves are checkmate. He played here. Yeah, I figured with my bishop and queen and pawn, I can mate you.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to visualize all this, even if...
And resigns. If here, check, check, mate. And if here, check and mate. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Tough one.
That
But
one
yeah,
was
the
tough.
interference was extremely important because we have to try to mate on g7, like somebody in the chat said.
Mm-hmm.
And so this move is blocking that, and then thereby trying to play f6, queen g7. So I almost had this one. Dang. I was a stone's throw away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tough. Ben was brainwashed his family to never play or even see f6. Yeah. All right, let's look at the next one. Tough life there with that puzzle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys, the chat was really smart though. Lots of people had ideas.
Definitely. Smart chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was hard.
All right, this is White to Play and Win from 1968.
Okay.
The guys I never heard of. SMRT, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You're so quiet.
I'm ready to give up.
All right, let me look for a second. You could just talk to them. I mean, I'll give up too, but I want to at least finish my idea in my head. I'm slow in my head, just like I am over the board.
But steady.
Right.
Yeah, that seems right, kangaroo. But I wasn't quite getting there in that variation, or with with that move. All right, that's not gonna work, Mr. Silman. That's not gonna work. Well, Prof L Axis, I don't even have to accept your sacrifice, and if I do, how could you possibly win that? But also, you're not even forcing me to.
It seems like I can't really see it all the way to the end. I was thinking like 96,
Mm-hmm.
and then I guess they advance their pawn, and maybe you take the G pawn.
And then A3.
Okay, then actually before you do all that, I would think you have to go. Maybe I don't have enough moves. King F7.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you go.
Got some serious fro envy.
Yeah, actually, if you move the king, then they advance. They go A4. Then maybe. Oh, but then you can't take the pawn. Yeah, that won't work. Seems like you have to go King F7.
Right. So, what I was figuring was, and Scottish Demon Goat gave this variation too. Here, and then here, and then there.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you don't have enough time for all that.
Yeah.
Because I can queen. You can also try to throw in some checks, but it doesn't really help, like this.
That's what I was looking at.
And then here.
Mm-hmm.
Even still, I have to get my knight out of the way. And then here. But we're just one tempo is too slow for mate.
Yeah, go back to it. Let me just look at it one more time. Let's see.
Also, if king f7, there's g6, but that doesn't seem right to me. Knight takes should mate eventually. Why can't we? If you go after the pawn with the knight, you're going to get a scenario where, like, let's say you go like this, and there, and here. So the knight and pawn are just like, they don't even exist, right? You can't use your knight, then my pawn will queen if you run away with your knight. So the only way to get rid of my pawn would be to go run over here with your king and take it. By that time, I'm going to take your other pawn, and then it'll be a draw. If anybody could win there, it's black, because you don't have any pawns, and black does. What's the name of the book? Silman's Complete Endgame Course by Jeremy Silman. So we could do something like the chat's talking about, combining mating with running the king over, but if I just push the pawn, I don't think that's going to work.
It doesn't seem like the king's close enough to me.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed to agree. Now, if king f7, king h7, knight g6 to f8 would be similar variation. So it's not like king h7 avoids the variation we're talking about. It's just that that doesn't win because we're tempo too slow. He queens.
Yeah.
And some people were suggesting like to sacrifice the knight here, but I mentioned you don't even have to take, and if you do, you don't win with white because it's an h-pawn. Or if you take this way, my king's here, you're not going to win. You know, with black king on g8, how are you going to queen your g-pawn? I put my knight on a2, play king f5, g6. Yeah, how does that win? Oh, stalemate. He says, yeah, there's no way that's going to win. Well, I'm ready to give up. I don't know about you. It seems like it's too tough.
Yeah, this one does seem tough.
This is two guys I never heard of from 1968, from Czechoslovakia, back when that was a country even. It seems the knight must run to the queen side and stop black's a pawn. However, if he does that, the resulting position on the king side holds for black. Seeing that the basic knight stop doesn't get the job done, white looks into mating patterns that often occur when the king is trapped in the corner. This allows him to find a pretty win. King f7. a4. If king h7, check, king h8, king f8, followed by mate. Although, what about this legal move? Which he doesn't mention. He doesn't even talk about it in the notes. This is something I was worried about too, actually. I guess we can go like this. And then we mate, and yeah, we mate. It's mate.
Oh, okay.
Because the knight guards that. I mean, we only won by one tempo in this variation. And if he ever goes here, then we queen with check, so I'm not worried about that. Then we'll easily win. Or here. Or any move. So this does win by one tempo. It's weird that he didn't give that variation. One that wins by one tempo. Okay, so a4, knight g6 check, which we did look at this. Knight e5. See, I wanted knight f8 check, as you can see from the notation.
Mm.
Let's see why knight e5 wins. Oh, see, he gives this move now, here.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense because we can't go pick up the pawn with the knight anymore. It's too far away. If king h8, this is the same. Here and then mate. So knight e5 was the key move if this is working out, which obviously it should. Then knight e3. Now the kingside situation's losing for black. That's true, because black's not going to get stalemated anymore. So if he ever goes here to protect the pawns, that's a trebuchet. We'll just move our knight. He has to move his king, and we take the pawn.
Mm-hmm.
So now all we have to do is stop the pawn. And he can resign. He has to lose his g-pawn now. See, if the king's there, it's stalemate, so we can't achieve this position like how Julian wanted. But this position is not stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to find two key knight moves here. Knight e3 to stop the pawn, as well as knight e5 in this position. Knight e5 is a key move, which I didn't consider that at all. It gives us just enough time to check and then stop the pawn. And then we win with trebuchet on the king side.
Mm-hmm.
Tough puzzle.
Yeah, that was very tough.
This one was easier than the last one, I think. Maybe.
You were about to get it. You hadn't. I saw that you had 95. Trebuchets would swung.
French and German, that's true.
Mm.
All right, let's look at the next one.
Yeah. Let me see. And how are we doing for time? I think we're still good. It's not even close to 5.
See what the chat's up to, huh? Anything funny?
No.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
Mr. Silman.
Oh yeah, I saw him up on there.
Yeah, what is the rating level again for this chapter?
Well, the last one we did before this was Master.
Okay.
This one, I don't think it actually had a... Well, maybe this one is the Master one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the toughest one.
Yeah.
Alright, this looks right. White to move. Is the obvious move good? That's the question posed to us.
I don't know. What is the obvious move? Rook A8?
I would assume so. Yes.
All right. Well, let's see. Okay.
It looks pretty good.
But because he's asking the question, it makes me think there's something else going on.
Mm-hmm. Scottish Demon Goat likes Rook B7 all day, every day. Rook B7 does look pretty good. Rook A8, B2, but we could play Rook takes F8 check, King H7, Rook B8. And that would be winning. Julian points out the idea. Rook A8, Rook B4. Yes. Yes. Rook a8, rook b4. Dang.
Oh, okay. Shielding the...
Sacking the rook, yes, to shield the b-pawn, exactly.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Too tricky.
That's pretty fancy.
And schmancy. Yeah, we're not in time to play rook back to d1.
Right, I was looking... okay, so that's not...
So it seems like rook b4 refutes it unless there's a counter trick. I don't really see it, frankly. I think definitely rook b4 is the point, yes. So rook b7 as well, says everyone in the chat now. Now, does rook b7... Well, yeah, we don't know what white wants here, right? Is white trying to win? Because he's down a pawn and it's past pawns. If white could win the piece on the back row, then he's winning, but it seems like rook a8, rook b4 is going to win for black, probably. It's actually not clear to me. Like rook a8, rook b4, bishop f8, b2, for example, bishop takes b4, discovered check, king h7, rook takes a6, b1 equals queen. That is that losing? I don't know. If I could defend all of white's pieces, then I think white's probably not losing, but that is probably losing, I guess. But rook b7 does seem right. Because then we're threatening the pawn, which can't even really be defended, so we're definitely not going to lose. Even if we like have to play bishop takes knight and then rook takes b3, that's not losing. But anyways, the answer is the obvious, or the question is the obvious move good? And the answer is no. So we've already solved it. Rook a8, rook b4. Whether rook b7 is the best move or not, maybe it is, probably is.
Probably is.
Oh, you're cold?
Yeah, I'm cold.
I knew it. All right, let's see what he has to say.
Karen do hate loud bikers.
I don't love loud bikers.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
After rook a8, which was played in the game, this is a mistake. Rook b4 double exclam, completely turning the tables. Check. I mean, why wouldn't you play bishop takes? This is what I was calculating here. I mean, maybe he could move his king, or he could push the pawn. Check. Now if he goes here, it's mate and 1, so he has to go there. And then we could take this, and then no queen. And then we have this position. And like I was saying, if I could like put my bishop here and then put my rook there, might not lose, although we might even still lose the h-pawn. Let me put my h-pawn back. There we go. Then everything would be all right. But this probably loses because the pieces are too loose. He's threatening this and that. We could go here, but even still, I might lose my h-pawn tactically somehow. You know, so I don't know. It seems like it should lose. Rook f8, this is how the game went. King h7. Oh no, so he can play this. He could play this to stop the pawn. But now he's in this position, which looks terrible. f5 exclam. Getting some counterplay, just in time. White would lose quickly if this pawn gets going, and it's queen time. Oh, so this is probably not lost for white then, right? Black, being a pawn up, has good winning chances, and indeed he won the game later, after a long battle. This is better than the queen for 2 pieces position, though. So let's go back and see what he could have did. By the way, this is Taimanov against Averbach from 1947. Taimanov played rook a8.
Hey, Julian says that this sort of, and I mean not really, looks like the Carlson Aronian game from today.
I didn't see that game.
I didn't see any of.
Carlson already won the tournament. I heard he lost today, but he already won the tournament, so it hardly matters.
No, it's still fun to watch.
I guess.
It's busy.
Rook b7 is the best move. See, now it's equal pawns, so this is obviously better than what Taimanov got in the game. Try to go behind. Even he's going to be up a pawn, perhaps. Analysis by Averbach there. He feels that the position is a draw due to white's rook's passivity. And after rook a4, like if you play king e4, rook a4 check, you're not going to be able to make progress. Your king won't work and your rook is not working either. So black is holding a draw here, even though he's down a pawn. As opposed to the way the game went, like this, where he's a pawn down with white, actually. And much worse, again, he even lost, did Taimanov. So yeah, the whole point was rook b4, as Julian pointed out. Rook a8, rook b4 is a strong move, trying to interfere with the b file. Certainly Taimanov missed that. No doubt about it. It's probably like, what? What book are we studying? Silman's Complete Endgame course.
Hey, Speckner. Yeah, and you can see all of them. Some of them are still video on demands on Twitch, and then the rest that have already timed out on Twitch or on our Chess Club YouTube channel.
Correctamundo.
Yeah, they don't keep. I'm just an affiliate on Twitch, and they don't keep the videos around as long as if your partner, unfortunately. Hey, Omicorn. We need to get the viewers up just a little bit.
Yeah, come on, you guys. Get more viewers. Be more of you. All right. Black to play. Black to move and win.
Black to play, black to move and win. All right. Get sipping that Coke.
Got a lot of interesting moves here. I think I got it. By God, he's got it. This is in Dvoretsky's Endgame manual, says Julian. I kind of agree with that Scottish Demon Goat. That does look like the right move to me. You know it's an important position if it's in two books about the endgame. Two famous endgame books have this position in it. If true, if what Julian says is true. It could all be made up for all I know. Knight c3 is a candidate move? Well, maybe. Maybe. Wouldn't necessarily be my first candidate move, but could potentially see it working. I just can't calculate it working. Yeah, knight endgames are pretty tricky. There are a couple of reasons. Obviously, the knight moves in an unusual fashion, but also there's the situation where a knight on the first rank, like White's knight, if it's attacked by a pawn, is very difficult to deal with. Like if we have a pawn, for example, on e2, attacking White's knight, the pawn is threatening pawn takes knight equals queen, as well as e1 equals queen, and you can never move your knight to defend e1. So if that scenario ever happens where your knight is attacked on the first rank by an enemy pawn, unless you can capture the pawn, it's going to be a guaranteed queen, pretty much. And this even happened yesterday during the month long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brad was up a piece, and by yesterday I mean 2 days ago, obviously. He was up a piece, and this happened where his knight was on the back row, and his opponent pushed a pawn to the 7th rank, thereby attacking the knight and threatening to promote to a queen. So he had to give up his knight, and then he lost because he was actually up a piece like for some pawns like earlier for no reason. Like the kid just lost a piece, and then the kid outplayed him and got to that position, and then he had to give up his piece. So the kid was just up a pawn or two and won handily from there. Kid was pretty strong. Poor Brad. Bad Brad.
I don't know. Seems like the first move would have to be knight d2, but I don't know.
You don't have any other candidate move for move one? That makes any sense?
Well, I didn't want to...
Lose your knight?
Right.
Yeah. That's fair.
So... And it also gives a check. And then you can take the pawn on b3. Or no, you can't. Well, you could if you want to sack, I guess. Where do you go from there?
Well, that's why Scottish Demon Goat and I want to play d3.
First.
Yeah, then if you take, I can check and take the pawn. That looks pretty good. Seems like I can make a passed pawn here if I have that situation. Although I don't really know that that's completely winning.
Yeah.
And also Scottish Demon Goat said d3, knight e3, which I didn't look at. That's a pretty good move. But no, I can just take c2, and then if you take back, I can play knight d2 check and take the pawn again. So I feel like it is this.
You do. Let's see.
King moves, knight takes. I don't know where the king is going. Maybe f4, maybe e3. But I don't know that that's totally winning anyway. And we did let the knight out of the cage. You know, the pawns are the prison bars for the cage.
That's right.
And we let the knight out. So I don't know. I mean, to me, that didn't seem like totally winning. Just a little bit like an improvement for black. Happy Friday, Elcoing. So yeah, I don't know. You want to look at the answer?
Yeah.
What happens after d3, king takes d2? Well, I wouldn't play d2 because that's terrible. I would take here. And this is exactly what I was talking about, how Brad had it. The knight's attacked, and the queen, it's about to be Queentown, and you can't move your knight to defend c1. Yeah, it was a rusty cage. Classic Soundgarden / Johnny.
Johnny Cash.
I couldn't think of it. Yeah, Johnny. Oof. Terrible version.
Oh, I like it.
All right, let's see what happens. Oh my goodness, knight c3 was the move.
I was looking at it, but I couldn't make it work.
That's what what was it? Profile Access said that. I believed it for a little bit, but then I thought,
I looked at that first and I'm like, nah, that's not it.
is it takes a4?
You could take with... Here's the pawn.
It is a4 right away. Yeah, a4 right away wins. No, it doesn't. I'll take here, knight b2. No, it does, a3, yeah. I thought I could go to c4 in time, but I can't. Dang, knight c3 exclam. Once you said knight c3, I calculated it, and I still didn't see that it worked. Because I was looking at if you take here, which that doesn't make sense. I'll just take here. But once you play knight c3, then a4, that should win. Let's see if that's right. Yep, bc a4. Knight c3 x double exclam, a lovely and surprising move. White's knight is trapped, unless thus he must capture on c3. Yeah, it does force the capture because the knight's hanging on d1. And then, yeah, not that. a4, exactly. Now if you play a3, he'll stop you. So it takes first. After c3, a3, white resigned. Nice stuff. Knight c3 double exclam. It's a good forcing move. It threatens the knight. Yeah, b takes, then immediately a4. Also deserves an exclam. Maybe not double, just one. But there's knight takes c3, says Scottish Demon Goat. But we'll take it and then still play a4. Game over. Game over, man. Game over. Nice. Knight c3 is a really good move. Didn't expect that one. Even when he suggested it and I analyzed it, I thought it was wrong. Dang, that's how tough of a move it was. All right, maybe one more?
Yeah. These are all hard. I'm not getting
I
any
feel
of
like
these.
the last one was probably the easiest one, although I still didn't solve it. But, you know, just because it's easy doesn't mean I'll
It's
get it
easy
right.
to understand after
Oh,
the
totally,
fact,
totally.
But
Totally.
so maybe,
I feel like the toughest one was the one I was the closest on. The bishop g5 one.
yeah.
And then the other ones are easier and I have no chance. That one, I had a chance, it just didn't pan out. All right. Black to play and win. This is Topalov against Kasparov from 1999. Kasparov has black, and it's black to play and win. Let me just make sure it's correct here. Because, you know, it's pretty tough with the pawns. But they're all in the correct colors. All on white squares for black, all on dark squares for white. Kasparov, Topalov, or Topalov, Kasparov. Those are guys who pretty good tactically.
Yeah. And you said black to play?
Yeah, black
and
to
win.
play and win.
Okay.
Too many candidate moves on move one. It's kind of tough. Every check it looks good to me. Really, almost every check could be right. Like anyone that doesn't hang the queen. Mostly. So the problem is, for black, if we ever play like a queen check to take the pawn, and then we take the pawn, they'll trade queens and play b5.
Yeah, I was looking at the b5 move.
And then we're not going to win.
They're just 4 moves away from queening.
We actually might not lose with black, because black could just play king c5. But then, as if he plays b6, double exclam, Scottish Demon Goat, then we'll never win when he has a protected passed b pawn.
Yeah, that's true if he doesn't take.
So if we're trying to win, we can't just take on d4 and trade queens, because b5 will never lose for white. I feel like a timely f4 is going to be necessary. Like, it would be perfect if we could play... This actually wouldn't even be perfect, but I'd like to play check, and then let's be really cooperative with white. King e2, check, king d3, f4 check. Even there, king e4, I don't think we're going to win. Even if I get everything I ever wanted. That actually could still win after something like king d2, but I don't know. Doesn't seem like that is going to force a win. Or you can just play f3, even though I never play f3. Everybody wants king takes b4. Although, you know, king takes b4, sure, but you're not proving that you're winning, right? You got to equal material, and it's white's turn, and you're not threatening anything. So you're not going to be winning after king takes b4. Equal material, white to play. White can just check you everywhere, take your pawns. White's never going to lose, like, unless he hangs his queen or helps you win. So king takes b4 is not going to win by force. Although it's certainly a move you would consider in a practical game. But we know that black's winning by force, so it's not going to be the move. Queen d2 check and then f4. Yeah, I'd like to do that too. What about queen e8? That's not legal, unless you mean queen e1. That is legal. I like queen f1 threatening a mating net. That was suggested a couple times, but there's no threat there. f4 check, you can move our king up. You can't play queen e3 because that's how a knight moves. You play queen e2, I could play king takes f4. Although maybe you could try to sack a pawn and mate me with king d3, queen g4 checkmate. But after king d3, I'll stop queen g4 checkmate. Queen g1 kind of looks the best to me as far as the checks go. And that's probably what I would do. But I can't really find anything that wins after any variation. So I'm not really finding the idea at that point. I would just be playing the move that sort of feels the best to me. Which I like queen g1 because we can always go to g4 if he starts to... I don't want him to like run away, then I'll never win. If he runs on that diagonal, I might take his pawn and win his queen, but, you know. Details. So I don't know. Queen d3 check, queen e4 check, then f4. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Queen d3 check, queen e4 check. I'll keep moving my king up. f4 threatening nothing. Although maybe you could still just keep playing the position, but it doesn't seem like you forced to win. It doesn't seem that way to me. So alright, we're ready to look at the answer? Alright, Topalov, Kasparov, 99, black to play and win. He did play queen g1 check. Queen g2 check. So I actually wanted here. If here, then it's mate. Can't stop me from mating you. No check. Pretty funny. Now after the next move, he resigned. f4 double exclam. So this is exactly what I wanted. I tried king h2 or queen h2 f4. Let's see why he resigned. After takes king d3, setting up for this mate. Okay. Queen g5. Queen f2 is mate. I didn't even see this was mate. I was thinking here, but that doesn't work. Queen f2 is just mate in one. And that's the only legal move. Yeah. Dang. Just forced mate, right? Now let's say he goes not king e2, but rather here. f4 again, probably. Just looking out for the checks in the C file, but see, f4, there might be an annoying variation. Check, king d3, check there. So I don't know how to win after king f3. He doesn't even give king f3. Maybe we'll go just here.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I don't really see the threat. We got checks, but none of them are mate. You know, none of them are mate. I'd like to make a threat, if at all possible. Yeah, I don't know how to beat king f3. I still don't understand. Maybe here, right? King d2. This threatens nothing. I thought this was mate, but obviously it's not. Threatening nothing's pretty good, though. Yeah, I don't know.
Can't you look at the eval?
All right. I guess we'll just give in.
Well, I didn't mean you had to. I just thought you...
No, we have to. So this move's plus 14. Every other move's like plus 2. It's like plus 22 now. So let's try it. You're getting f4 with the tempo. That is the key to the position. It likes both of these moves equally. This gets mated in one, so let's go here. Now it wants me to go back here, though. Well, alright, I guess this wins. Fine. But this seems like a way better defense, right? Because king e2 just lost... King e2 just lost in 2 moves, right. And he resigns because it's forced mate. Although this is still a great move that he probably just didn't expect. But king f3, queen f1 check, f4 check. So if queen e2 first, which is, it repeats, then plays queen e2. Now he could play king h3, though. Mate in 33, I mean, mate in 21. Even the computer's having a hard time here. It's tough when with so many legal moves. And both sides have a queen that can just move to, like, 20 squares. So, and you're going to have to play some subtle moves to find mate. But yeah, this is now, it's mate in 12. So this isn't very practical, I would say. Wants to go here. What about this? Yeah, I mean, it's still, like, having a hard time finding mate. It gave up mate already. See, I don't know what to say about this puzzle. I mean, it seems like king f3 makes it very difficult to win. Even the computer's having a hard time winning. Really. Difficult. But instead he played king e2. And then it actually is not so difficult to win. As long as you can see... in this position, f4.
Hey, Star Princess.
Yeah. Always king f3. Is that right, Star Princess?
Well, I don't know. Does it not go to a sufficient depth on test.com? I don't really know what it does.
The engine?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just a lot to calculate.
Yeah.
There's just so many legal... All it does is calculate legal moves. And there are a lot of legal moves when it's a queen endgame. Yeah. So it's tough, for a computer. Anyways, I feel like I should unlock the front door because it's past 5 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, and we just leave the door open like we talked about and see if people come. People don't often come early, but sometimes they do. But the chess club is opening. Actually, it's open now. So Spencer's opening the door. We have a Blitz tournament tonight. I guess I won't put my mask on until people get here. But anyway, so we're just going to keep going a little bit longer. And then Spencer will have to duck out at some point. Hey, break for coffee. And when that happens, I can play a few people at the end. So it's a little bit unpredictable today. Kasparov saw it all. So when he comes back, we'll just do another puzzle. He might have hit the restroom, too. Seems like he's taken a while. Anyway, well, we can talk for a second till he comes back. I'm so tired. I went to karaoke last night. Ben is in Michigan, so he will not be streaming tonight or tomorrow night or Sunday afternoon. The question is, will he stream Monday night? I don't know yet.
I took an impromptu
Bathroom. I figured it out. Hey, Lady Buell, how's it going? I was just chatting with people for a second. I tried out a new karaoke place last night, so it was kind of fun. Went to my normal karaoke place, met Spencer. Spencer went home, and then I hung out with some other. Ben was already on his way to Michigan, so I was just there by myself. Then 3 or 4 people that I was hanging out with said, well, hey, we're going down the street to this other karaoke place. I said, no, I don't really feel like going. I feel lazy. And then they badgered me a little. So I went, and it was really great. So I'm glad I went. What did I sing? I sang a few songs. I sang Adele's Love Song. I sang Redemption Song, Bob Marley. I sang Gypsy, Fleetwood Mac. What did I sing? I sang something else at the first karaoke, Chaplin's. Forgot now what it was.
Right, I was there.
Oh yeah, I sang Imagine, John Lennon.
Yeah, that's
Hey
right.
Bowler. And then I signed up for Crazy, Patsy Cline, but I couldn't sing it because the bar closed at the other place. All right, so back to some chess. Hey, Ferdinand.
Ferdinand von Zeppelin. Nice.
Conjuring chess pieces. Patti Smith. You know, I've never sung any Patti Smith, but
Hold on a minute. Is that like Ferdinand von Ayer from Fire Emblem, but also Led Zeppelin?
I don't know.
Like 2 things that I love mixed into one.
Oh, really?
Ferdinand von Zeppelin. That would be great if that was true.
You're coming in, Bowler? We'll be here by 1:45.
I sing Imagine, but replace the lyrics with All Star by Smash Mouth. That is funny.
The funny thing, I'm going to tell the story real quick, and then we'll start back on the test. The funny thing about me singing Imagine that Spencer pointed out is...
She almost threw down right before that song.
All right, so we get in the bar, okay, and Spencer and I wanted to sit by each other, you know, at the bar, and we know everybody there, not everybody, but some, bartenders and whatever. So we were trying to figure out how we could sit together because there was only one seat. So Spencer, we were talking to the bartender, and she said she would talk to the guy when he got back who had left his keys on the bar. See if
Lighter.
See if he could move down a seat. Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, it seemed like it was probably going to happen. Spencer moved the lighter down. Went ahead and moved it down.
Yeah, just one seat. Just moved it.
So I'm standing there, and the guy on the other side of the one empty seat said something about, that's incredibly rude to do that. Yeah. Move the lighter.
The guy was not paying attention to anything that happened before that.
He had missed the conversation with the bartender where she'd already suggested that we were going to move that guy. And, of course, you did preemptively move the lighter. But...
I figured it was a lighter. So it wasn't like, it wasn't even a drink. Like, I'm not touching a guy's things.
When he said that to me, I thought at first he was mad at me because I was about to sit in the seat by him. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of leaned closer. I'm like, what? What's wrong? Is someone sitting here? And he goes, it's rude. It's incredibly rude to move that guy's stuff.
That guy's one lighter.
So then Libby, the bartender, said she heard that that the guy was mad. She said, well, no, it's okay because I told him blah, 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 blah. And then I don't remember exactly what was said next. And then I don't know what happened.
She got hot.
I was really mad. I was really mad.
Coming in hot.
And I looked over and I said, "Why don't you mind your own fucking business?"
That is what she said. I was
And
there.
and then he didn't say anything, did he?
No.
Then Libby kind of went,
Libby backed off too.
and then there was like some more talk about it, and I said, "I'm not even going to be able to sit here now, so don't worry about it, because I'm definitely not sitting next to this asshole." I was really mad. I was really mad. Then the guy comes back from the bathroom, and it's a guy I've seen there a whole bunch of times.
And obviously he had no problem with me moving the lighter a few feet.
He moved all the way down to the other
2
bar.
feet.
I mean, we knew that guy anyway. And then, so then the funny thing was,
She goes up and sings Imagine.
I sang, Imagine, peaceful song. Imagine all the people, living life. And
Not caring about which bar stool they could sit on.
possessions. And so I went up there.
Imagine no possessions. Then that problem wouldn't have even existed because the guy wouldn't have had his lighter. It would have just been everyone's lighter. I can move it.
Everyone's bar seat.
Yes.
I was so mad. I even told Spencer, I'm ready to kick that guy's teeth out. I was furious. I was very,
Right.
very mad. He didn't say a word. Yeah, because I didn't care. I mean, obviously he could beat me up, but, I'd give it a go if he wants to.
I would
give it
have
a
your
go.
back.
If he wants to give it a go, like, I'm be talking to little mama this way.
You're right.
Jerk. I'm
Gonna learn about little
punch
mama.
your face in. Anyway, the moment passed. Then I felt bad that I got so mad. But not
I
bad.
thought it was funny.
Not bad enough to apologize, because he's the one that needed to apologize for not minding his own blankety blank business, like I told him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, imagine no parcel. All right, so back to the chess.
This is black to play and win, I guess. I know it's black to play. Black to move and win, yes.
Now, I am from Alabama. You got to watch people from Alabama. We don't play over there. I'm sorry, black to play and win?
Yes.
All right. Hobo Dog says, flip the board in case my commerce watching.
I got this one.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to look.
I solved. I'm almost 100% sure I'm right.
All right.
But I had extra time while you were talking about story time. And then what Karen didn't tell you is an addendum to the story. Later, that guy who the confrontation was with was in the bathroom. Other people came up and were talking about, hey, like, can we sit in these chairs? Like, what's the deal here? And I'm like, no, there's just a guy sitting there. And then he's like, well, maybe I could just move his stuff. Maybe I could just move his stuff one over so that the two of us could sit together.
We're like, yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I was like, oh boy, if only you knew.
Yeah, that would have
That was too funny.
Well, it would have been funny if we shouldn't have warned him.
Right. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't mind. He wouldn't find that incredibly rude.
He would have thought we did it.
Yes. We would have only had a part in it. My dad was not there. He had started driving to Michigan at that point. Or maybe around then.
Yeah, Ben never likes these kind of shenanigans.
No,
I mean, not that I
no.
like it either, but you got to stand your own.
Sometimes you get in a bar fight. That's the risk you take going to the bar.
Not going to be talked to by the young whippersnapper talking to him. He was mad at you, actually. He was saying you were the rude one.
Mm-hmm. I was pretty rude.
But he was mind his own business. That's what I got to say about it. All right.
What is in Michigan? We have family in Michigan. Neighbor. How's it going, Carla? Or Carl A. Boss? Or Carla Boss? Whichever one. Sometimes you want to sing Imagine and a fight breaks out. Yes, that's true, me pecs. I hate it when that happens. It's so frequent.
Ron thought it was hilarious when I told him what happened.
It is funny, yes.
I've never seen you miss Livy's expression. It was funny. She was like, wait a minute. What's going on here?
If Ben were in a bar fight, he would punch someone in the face and say the tooth hurts. That's true.
And let me be clear, I am not condoning bar fights.
No way.
I'm just talking about what happened. That's all.
There was not even any physical altercation.
They backed off. He saw that I was furious,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he just didn't want to go there. All right, got a mad Karen.
That's probably what he was thinking too.
But he didn't know my name, so he wasn't thinking that.
No, he could have been. He could have been. But it was also kind of weird that he didn't say anything.
It was weird. He just went silent like a serial killer.
If I was him, I'd be like, "Oh, sorry, like I didn't, mean to be upsetting you or something."
Or you double down. There's got to be some kind of reaction. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It was very weird. He seemed like the kind that would shoot up a bar. He did.
He was kind of by himself and very quiet.
Weird dude.
But I don't mind to be by myself and quiet.
Yeah, I mean...
Although I don't go talking to people telling them they're rude at the same time.
Right.
Good chat so far. Ferdinand von Zeppelin said that that's just the name of the guy who invented the aircraft. Dang. Too bad. Is this a puzzle or just a draw? This is black to play and win. But it's from a game, so it's like sort of a snippet from a game. Thanks, SM Rosny.
I don't know. It's too much calculation for me. I mean, I thought H4 seemed like the first move. I don't know.
Well, here's what I think is almost certainly correct.
Mm-hmm.
You want to play F3, and then H4, and then you win. If you play F3 and he plays G takes, which if you ever do play F4, F3, he has to play G takes because you're threatening to play FG and queen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Then when you play H4, the game ends. You make a pass to H pawn. That's it. But he has no G pawn to stop you. So after F4, he should probably play G takes. G takes. Now if you play F3 next, it's white's turn. But if you play F3 after that, he could play G3. So the variation I was calculating was F4, GF, GF, King D4, E3. FE, F3. GF, H4, and wins.
Okay. That's not what I was doing.
If only Magnus had consulted with me on rook endgames, said Hobo Dog. What's even funnier was Faruja losing that king and pawn endgame. Did you see that, Karen? It was too funny. It was like just like the stuff we were looking at in here.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Where he didn't keep opposition.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? Like, how could he do that?
Well, he only had 12 seconds left.
Still.
Right, you would think that the natural move would be to keep opposition.
It was strange. Yeah,
but he was defending for hours against Magnus, and it was near the end of the tournament.
Yeah, that's
and he's
true.
17.
That's a good point.
So he doesn't have a lot of experience playing in 9-10 rounds against super GMs.
That's a good point. He probably was tired.
Definitely.
Well, I don't know. I can't do this one.
All right, let's see if I'm right or if I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This is Weinstein against Rode, not the famous Weinstein, I guess, from Lone Pine 77. Black to move and win. What might think that white must be better due to the outside pass pawn about to happen? In the actual game, white made use of this fact to win, in fact. Rode blundered, playing h4.
Mm-hmm.
Double question mark. And black resigned. Obviously, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Rode is pretty good. F4 is best. GF. No better is king d4, e3, f3, GF. Wait. Sorry. I got confused there. I was like, that variation doesn't make sense. E3. King d4, e3, fe, f3, GF, h4. This is the position I wanted earlier, which we can get to by transposition, I guess. Or a5, h4. Now we're threatening f3. King d4, e3, although it seems like f3 wins here to me, but maybe e3 also wins. But then we can even stop the pawn. We can stop his pawn and queen.
Hey, you were right, Bowler.
Nice.
Hey, Joe Adam.
So GF, king d4, e3, fe, f3. Yeah, and white. This is a variation I gave.
Yeah.
h4 and resigns. Dang, so Rode messed that up. He played h4 losing instead of f4 winning. And king and pawn games are pretty tough. Boris Spassky did give up chess. That's true.
20 years ago.
So what do you think? Maybe you play some people or what?
Let's see. I think that's probably... Well, yeah. Maybe we won't go quite 2 hours today. I don't know. I mean, we could do one more puzzle if you wanted. I think we do have time to do one more.
All right, let's do one more.
All right, we'll do one more puzzle. Then I can play a couple people if anybody's in the mood.
I just wanted to stop because I actually got one right. So I thought this would be a perfect time to stop.
Then, and then once people come in, like I was saying at the chess club, Spencer has to go up front, and depending on who it is.
Right, if it's somebody we don't like, we'll just stay here.
If it's somebody that we know, we can just tell them to hang on.
That too.
Hey, Market Sands. Did you miss any blunders? Well, we haven't played any games today.
If you mean like bad suggestions, then yes.
Yeah, we started pretty quickly with the lesson because I was explaining the chess club's open, and Spencer has to go up front as soon as people get here. And nobody's gotten here.
All right, this is black to play and win.
All right.
Opposite colored bishops, what else? Just make sure it's right.
Wait,
Okay.
what does it say? Spencer is studying the books. Someone in the comics. Toss the damn book and live on it.
Comments, not comics.
Oh.
See, he corrected it.
Wait, well, what does that mean? Studying the book, someone in the comments.
Someone in the comments will say, toss the damn book out and live a little.
Oh, okay. Thank you,
figured it
Glenn Pan. Well, somebody might, but
Is that the Glenn Pan?
hey, Q-Hen. I like using the book, though. So,
Yeah, books are for nerds, but still,
Is
could
there-
use one, I guess.
is there a... Oh, that is somebody we know. Hey,
Yes.
Glenn. How's it going?
It is, he says, yes.
Yay. Yeah, we were just talking about you the other day because Ben was talking about putting a link for the tournament. And then Ben gets like a little kickback if people register for that one. I can't remember now which tournament it was. National Open, maybe?
That sounds right.
Anyway, hello. Yeah, we're going to do that soon. Hey, this is Spencer. All
I
right, so
solved this
last
one.
puzzle.
I solved it.
All right, cool. Now,
And
who-
I feel like I'm very smart because I solved it correctly.
yeah, National Open. Okay. Yeah, everybody out there should register for the National Open online.
It's true that black is going towards us and white's going that way.
Okay,
That is
I'm
all
sorry. So
correct.
who's moving?
Black to play.
Well, I was reading.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
The white king can't move? Interesting. If true, which it's obviously not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel very smart for solving this. I do wonder if it's the easiest one, though.
I thought they get progressively harder.
Right. Well, each section
Each
is
section.
tougher.
Some- there's gonna
These
be-
are all in the same section,
Yeah,
so
so-
that's a mixed bag at that
That's
point.
true. Yeah. 'Cause
This is just hard. The next one's very hard, then very, very hard.
mm-hmm.
Then maybe even a third very. I didn't go that deep into the book. I was too scared. I was very, very, very scared.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't agree with that profile axis. I think that won't win. That's what your idea is.
Hey, I bet Glenn came here because of my Facebook post.
You think so?
Yeah. Hey, Glenn, if you're still there, how did you even know about this stream? Probably from my great Facebook post.
Timely Facebook post. And we even got over 75 viewers.
Yeah. Trying to get my viewers up just a little so I can make partner. All right, back to this. I bet he found it from that because we're friends on Facebook. But I could be wrong.
Is there a problem with blocking the pawn on f2? Question mark. I don't know what you mean by blocking the pawn on f2. You should just give me a move. Like, is there a problem with this variation? And then move, you know? That's what you should be doing. And then I'll know what you mean for sure. If you tell me the moves, I can visualize them. It is black to play and win, correct? Yes. Don't forget, black's going towards us, and white's going that way. Don't forget about that. Yeah, that's what I think, dancing tortoise. I think that is correct. Ah, but okay, you guys are doing a different move order than I wanted. I think that move order is incorrect. Unless you're right and I'm wrong. Let me think about it for a minute there. No, I can refute the move, yes, that you guys suggest.
I need to go to the rest stream. I don't know. I was thinking like G4 was the first move.
That's what people in the chat are saying, but then I wanted king f5. Fork. Here's the problem. I'll tell you the problem. If you play this and we trade, you'll never win. I'll sack my bishop for the pawn, and you have the wrong colored rook pawn, because you have a dark square bishop. So if I take this pawn, you draw. You can't win without that pawn, you know, sometimes. King f5 is the best move for white after g4. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I agree with Dad Yazuna. Never know how to pronounce that name. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Carla's on board too, with what I think is correct. Again, I could be wrong, but it seems like it's correct to me. Maybe I should show you now.
Yeah, and I have to actually go to the restroom real quick.
All right, so bishop e3 exclam is the move. The idea is that you're making another passed pawn. So if fe, we'll have two passed pawns, and then we'll win. Your bishop can't stop them both. Now, so you might want to play f3 and think, I'll just play f3. Then if you go here, takes, I'll just take this pawn. But haha, I forced your pawn to f3, so now I can play discovered check and then take your pawn next.
Yeah.
And then I'll win easily.
That's so cool. Hey, I have to actually go to the restroom. I've been drinking all this soda. I'll be right back.
I'll just see if it's correct.
Yeah, you guys can keep going. I'll be right back. It's probably correct. That does seem to be correct.
That's why I was confident. It
Yeah,
seemed like a puzzle answer.
Yeah.
Bishop e3 exclam. Correct. Tempting is g4, but king f5, g3. This is exactly what I was talking about. And you'll never win because it's the wrong color rook pawn. It's like I wrote the book. Except it would be a good book then. No, this is a good book. Just kidding. Of course, f takes, g4 promotes the pawn. He doesn't give the move f3 as an option. He gives this move, which I didn't look at. Actually, that's an important move. Probably should have looked at it. Check. And yeah, now it takes the bishop, because if not, we'll just take here and promote this pawn. And the bishop can't stop them both, obviously. This is how the game went. Yeah, so as you guys know, this position would be a draw if the pawn is not here, because you can't win when it's a rook pawn. But because he has the pawn on the e-file here, just delete the move. Then we can just checkmate him and mate. It's not stalemate, it's checkmate. Nice. Bishop at e3, f3, g4, king f5. Bishop e3, f3. Bishop e3, f3, I'm playing a2, not g4.
Was that correct, I assume?
Yes, although we didn't look at one variation, which we should have.
Oh.
Bishop e3, we didn't talk about just taking a6 right away. h6 right away. We talked about them taking or them pushing. But you could take a6 right away, g4 check. Black threatens to take the pawn and then win because we have two passed pawns. That'll always beat the bishop. So we have to take here, but then this variation was winning. And I was explaining to the chat that if this pawn wasn't here, it's a draw. Because we'll play h7, and then this is a draw that we know.
Oh, yeah.
With the rook pawn against the queen. But this is not, this exists, so he's not getting stalemated. We can just go and mate him. Mm-hmm. And he never gets stalemated. Just checkmated.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, even after the promotion, it is a little complicated, yes. Bishop e3, could we try... See, we can't try king f5 first, because then we'll take the pawn, and we just won the pawn, we're winning.
I just heard the phone ring. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that could have happened.
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe I should go see if they left a message, huh? Because we finished this position anyway.
Yeah, we should probably wrap it up.